Hello, Virgo. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Virgo is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It's totally free. It doesn't cost you anything. If there's anything you need me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Okay? Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Virgo, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. Here is the Prince of Swords. Now, we have to put that into some context. I feel like this is not so much you being on the fence about something, but I feel as if you kind of have two minds about something, right? It's kind of like we love something, but we hate it. We want something, but we don't. We're enjoying this, but at the same time, I wish I was doing something else, right? So there's two minds about you. We're going to put this into some context. And there might be one of the minds. There might be an older female energy that has passed for you recently. If that's the case, you have my sincere condolences. I don't know if that's really what we're talking about here. It might be. But I kind of feel like this might be part of your energy more than it is representing someone in your life that's passed. But we'll see. We'll see what else we come up with here. 9 of Cups and a 10 of Cups. See, everything's going to be all right. Everything's going to be more than all right. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. I really love getting the 9 and the 10 of Cups together. I could talk all day about the 9 and the 10 of Cups. This is kind of us getting so close to perfection that it's almost too much, you know. Here's the mystery card. We're going to put Kevin, a.k.a. Mr. Bates, right there on top. Now, if any of you remember why the frog is called Kevin, a.k.a. Mr. Bates, let me know in the comments. He's been around for a few months now, and I want to see who's been paying attention. Yeah. Anyway, that card's going to tie everything together and give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any point during the reading you feel like you know what that card is, just let me know in the comments, right? Put your prediction there. Let's make it interactive. Let's make it a group exercise in intuition. All right. You're here. I might as well put you to work. Let's take a look around the room here. We've got two major arcana energies only. We've got the adjustment or justice card, and we've got the devil energy, right? And they're very different energies. To me, the devil is this idea of freedom. It's this idea that we just kind of want to do our own things, that we don't want to be tied down to anything, right? And I think I think this is where we're of these two minds. Okay, so we're gonna have to talk about these two in depth. So we've got our major arcana. We have our fire energies. We've got good water energies. We've got air energies. We've got earth energies. So we got two of everything here, right? Pretty sure, right? We've got the two majors. We've got two fires. We've got two waters, two airs, and the two earths there. So it's very balanced. And to me, though, there's that balance, but there's also that idea of a split, right, of two. There's a lot of stuff over here, a lot of stuff over here. It's like we've made our pros and cons list, and they're exactly the same. Like they're doesn't help us, right? Because it's even. It's like we like this just as much as we like that. I want to stay just as much as I want to go. And that's the reality of things right now. So when we're talking about the devil energy, all right, I feel as if it's kind of this longing for, it's deep down, you're a creative. Deep down, you have this kind of freedom, this simplicity, this connection with the earth energy where it's just like you want to live naturally, organically, like spontaneously. The devil energy, here with this Devil card has no schedule, has no restraint, no restrictions. You sleep as late as you want. You wake up as early as you want. You do kind of what the Spirit prompts you, what your own creative fire tells you. There's a freedom of creativity here. There's a freedom of lifestyle, a freedom of energy. We're not tied to anything. We're not forced into a schedule. We're not forced into this kind of routine or mundane experience, right? This is a little bit bohemian. This is a little bit freestyling life. You know, if you want to stay up for 3 days and paint your life's work, you can do that. But maybe not, because we've got that Adjustment card. So there's the longing for this kind of life, right? And maybe this was what you experienced kind of back in the day when you were younger. I'm not saying you're old, but, the things that we were free to do in our youth, as we get older, we start accumulating more and more responsibilities, right? So there's always this kind of almost a nostalgia for the freedom that we used to have, the simplicity that we used to have, just the kind of freewheeling spontaneity and creativity that we used to have. If you wanted to go climb a mountain, you would just go climb a mountain. You didn't have to ask anybody. You didn't have to tell your boss or schedule the time off. It just, it would just happen. And so Spirit's also telling me to mention something about an eye issue. I don't know if there's eye pain or if there's something to do with one of your eyes. I don't feel like it's both. I'm seeing just like one eye. That might be something that you need to get checked out. Now, this isn't a medical reading. I'm not diagnosing anything. These details sometimes come through just to confirm the energy that we are in and to offer synchronicities for some of you out there that message is meant for, right? There's some sort of an eye issue. It feels like the right eye that you have to get looked at, or you recently had it looked at, or there's something going on there, okay? Contrasting the Devil energy now with this Adjustment energy. And see, the one that's above here, this feels like it's the external reality, and the Devil energy feels like it's kind of the internal, not wish necessarily, but just kind of the internal longing, the fantasy kind of thing, or the nostalgia for what has passed. I think that you used to grow like aloe vera plants when you were a kid. I feel when you were younger, you had a lot of the aloe vera plants. I see like maybe you had, or your parents did or something, planted in pots, and it's the aloe vera where you can crack open one of the leaves, and it's like a healing kind of balm for the skin. I remember as a kid using it for sunburns and stuff. We would just crack it open, and just kind of it's this sticky substance all over there. But it's kind of, Spirit shows me those details again, just to offer some validation and confirmation for the energy. But I feel that's also symbolic. I feel like you have that memory, or maybe you have those kind of aloe vera plants right now in your life. But I feel it's that kind of responsibility that you have now, that now you're not the one out running around, goat devil energy, getting the sunburn. Now the truth of the matter is you're the one that has to prepare for those sunburns, So this is kind of the contrasting energy. This is a lot of commitments, and I think the older we get, the more things we kind of accumulate, that we're responsible for. Jobs, careers, possessions, families, all sorts of things that we have a responsibility toward. Okay. And I think part of the work for you right now is trying to find the miracle and the blessing and the bliss and the freedom and creativity in the blending of these worlds. Let's have the best of both worlds. And that's going to take some creative figuring on your part, The Adjustment card is a lot of this kind of official responsibility. And I think that this is like having that professional life, having that outward life of responsibilities. You got to pay the bills. You got to make the phone calls. You got to schedule the appointments. You've got to have the aloe vera plants, ready for when the kids come in with the sunburns. You got to be, you got to be everything to all people. You have to be, mother, father, doctor, lawyer, friend. You've got to be, all these things in your life at different times. I feel like there is an older female energy in your life that has passed, and I do feel like there was something to do with the kidneys or the internal organs or something for that person. And I don't think it was recent, though. I think it was something that happened quite a while ago. In the past position, we have a 5 of Pentacles, and that to me is part of this older female energy that I was talking about. But this is also the realization, for one, that we can't go backwards. Right? That going backwards, we can't just suddenly abandon our life and say, I'm going back to being this carefree, freewheeling wild child of my youth. We can't do that because we're going to be disrupting way too many things in life. It's going to have a ripple effect to go backwards, right? It's really going to disrupt things into a 5 of Pentacles. But the 5 of Pentacles is also telling me that you're the problem solver of life, that when things are not stable and, perfect, that you're the one that is paying the bills, earning the money, taking care of things, scheduling things, making the phone calls, making the doctor's appointments, and, doing the school stuff and, all of these things. So life kind of feels like it's always a 5 of Pentacles. It's always in this flux. It's always in this swirl of just like, I don't know how, but somehow I manage, right? My Office reference for the day. I don't make enough The Office references. Somehow you manage, but it feels like it's always just this kind of almost a chaos. And it's, to me, a feeling that we sometimes just want that ability to not worry about everything. We want that devil freedom down here. What I see with the future here and the 9 of Wands, though, is a blending of both worlds, right? It's internal, external. It's sun and moon. It's the psychic, spiritual, internal life. And I think this isn't just about you wanting to sleep in, right? That's not what I'm not trying to minimize it. What I feel like is this is a spiritual experience. This is you wanting the ability and the freedom to worship and to connect with spirit, God, goddess, deity, right? With your own creativity, your own soul and spirit, ancestors, guardian angel, whatever you want to call it, right? Spirit guides. You want to have this ability to just go as the spirit moves you, and to have this internal kind of life and spiritual experience. But it's almost like our external life has so much going on that we're not finding enough time for the internal part. As soon as we start to kind of sit with ourselves and we start to feel like the connection starting to grow, then someone's calling for us, or someone's nagging us, or the phone's ringing, or, you realize that the alarm's going off. It's time to wake up. It's time to go to work. It's time to go to bed, whatever. It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. And the unfortunate thing is the only solution is to find ways to carve out time and space. Now we're going to move over to the path of the serpent. And as I do this, I'd like to ask for your subscription. It's totally free. It doesn't cost you anything. Leave a comment for me. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. Yeah, I want to see how worldwide our community is here. And it's a very supportive community. And if you're a follower of this channel, you know that I don't tell you what to do. The tarot is not going to tell you what to do. If you meet with a psychic or a tarot reader and they tell you what to do, they're not for you, in my opinion, anyway. That's just my opinion. So when we see a reading like this and we think, well, what's the solution? Well, the tarot's not going to tell you what the solution is. The tarot's going to show you a snapshot of the energy as it is, and I think it's up to us to figure out how to apply this to our life. Because we start with the Ace of Pentacles. This could be a new beginning. This could be us carving out time and space, scheduling in time for our own kind of devil energy, freedom, creativity. It could be a day off where we don't have any responsibilities. I feel like you've said a lot of times, I need a break. I need a break. I need some time. I need a time and space, right? And I think there is this idea of sometimes we have to schedule that. Sometimes we have to kind of say, yes, I need time. I need a break. I need this space. And it's going to be at, Tuesday at 9 o'clock or whatever whatever day. And that's when we are able to kind of turn off our phones, turn off our minds, turn off our, our sense of responsibility and just be. Yeah. And just be. And maybe this Ace of Pentacles is saying that we can find something that is uniquely ours, something that we can do for ourselves, right? Something creative, something that doesn't necessarily have a very specific purpose or result that we're looking for. Spirit's showing me a picture of someone on an elephant. Did you ever get your picture taken with like not like a huge elephant, like a baby elephant or something at like a fair or something like that? Because I see somebody kind of on an elephant and their pictures being taken of you. Random, I know, but I like these kind of random impressions that come in because I feel like they're connecting with someone out there, and it's really a fun from my end. It's a fun energy to be in, And I think that, to me, that really does take us back to childhood, right? Where we had opportunities to do something novel. You're probably the only one of your friends that had their picture taken on an elephant, right? You may even have that photograph still somewhere. And I feel like that's kind of what we need in life. Ace of Pentacles. Let's do something new. Even if it's just one thing for one moment on one day, go do something that you've never done before. Go do something that no one in your friend group has done before, Maybe skydiving. Here's the Knight of Swords. Easier said than done, and I'm aware of that. And I don't want you kind of shaking your head or rolling your eyes at me. I can feel the eye rolls coming in. But we have to try. All of us do. I don't care if it's Virgo or any other sign. I'd say this to any sign. We have to find those moments in our lives, right? You have to honor what this kind of devil is inside of you. And not in the way that's going to be irresponsible, because, again, we do it in the wrong way, and our decisions ripple out and affect everybody else in our lives, right? We have to still be responsible, but we can find the new and the novel and the blissful, and we can find ways to get closer and closer and closer to spiritual, emotional, internal fulfillment and pleasure and satisfaction. 9 and 10 of Cups. So the Knight of Swords here, this is you speaking up. This is you bringing this idea out and just kind of and saying, hey, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I want. This is what I need. We're able to communicate. See, you're a great communicator. You're I think, in a lot of ways, you're the Queen of Wands here. It's not gender specific. But what I mean is you're the one that has no problem being in charge, organizing everything, getting everybody going where they need to go, right? You've got that command and that power about you. Well, let's combine that. Let's use that for ourselves too. You're good at at orchestrating the life externally, but let's take what we need inside and orchestrate that and make that announcement and give that directive and say, tomorrow, Tuesday at 9 a.m., I'm going to go ride an elephant or whatever. I'm going to go skydiving, right? Whatever it might be. And I think that leads us to the 9 of Cups. 9 of Cups is in the position of the difficulty. I think it's difficult for you to allow yourself to just kind of enjoy things, right? The 9 of Cups is about happiness. It's about pursuing happiness. if even for just one moment of feeling like physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, creatively, you're fulfilled, you're activated, right? That you're doing something that fulfills you. And even if it's just for one moment, even if it's just for, an hour a day or whatever, it's a place to start. And if we can get into that feeling, then we kind of know what it's like. We know we're starting to learn the trick, right? So we start doing it more and more and more. Before we know it, we're not at a 10 of cups. We're at like a 9.5, a 9.99999, right? I always kind of say, like, well, if you think of the Olympics, right, no one ever gets a perfect 10, right? And then someone corrects me and say, oh, no, there was someone that had a perfect 10. I don't know if they were from Russia or I forget where they're from. But someone did get a perfect 10 in the Olympics, probably several people. But for my purposes, we don't get a perfect 10, at least not very often, right? But getting a 9.5, getting a 9.9 is just crazy, insane, like the odds of that are astronomical, right? And that's what we're trying to do. We're not trying to have the absolute perfect, everything is perfectly in line with what I want, what I'm expecting. We can never have that kind of perfection because we don't live in a vacuum, right? We're not an island. There are other consciousnesses, other souls, other entities around us, other wills, other energies, other forces. And so we are always navigating our own needs versus the needs of everything else. We're navigating what is in our power to control and fulfill and pursue, and what things happen out there in the world that are not under our control, right? So when we're trying to fulfill our own needs, we like to approach the 10 of Cups as that kind of highest ideal. And we really, in all honesty, we don't want to get to the 10 of Cups because it's like, if you become sugar, you can never taste sugar. We like the joy of pursuing our soul, our desires, our pleasures, our fulfillment, whatever these things are that you need in your life, right? Your spiritual fulfillment. We like the doing of that thing, not in the having of it, right? It's in the process. Life is in the doing. This is the 9 of Cups. This is the dream that keeps on dreaming. This is the happiness that keeps on happening. It's not saying, okay, I rode the elephant and now I'm done. I've fulfilled myself and that's all. That's it. I can go back to my life. We have to incorporate this process in our lives, and that's the difficult thing. But that's the 9 of Wands. All right. Now I say we look at the mystery card. I don't mean to preach at you. Mystery card now. If you have a prediction, put it down in the comments. I don't know what to expect. I think maybe some earth energy. I think a 6 or a 9 of Pentacles. We have we've got a 9 of Wands, a 9 of Cups. I don't think we need another ace of anything, right? I'd like to see this ace here, the possibility for something new and novel. I'd like to see this manifesting and being incorporated into our life in this, maybe in the 9. So I'm thinking 9 of Pentacles is ideal, but I don't know that we're going to get that ideal right now. But if we get close, then I think I'll be happy. Let's see what we have. We've got a 4 of Swords. Interesting. Very interesting. Because we have, we've got this idea of being of two minds, right? And we kind of see this now as well with the 4. Because the 4 is kind of two minds. Again, it's an even number. It's kind of like we're still in the same place. So it's kind of like at the end of the reading, nothing's changed. We're still right where we were, right? But I think maybe now with the 4 of Swords, we're resting a little bit easier. Now it's almost like we've calmed ourselves down in the sense that we don't feel this anxiety. We don't feel this confusion, this problem, this mental stress. Because we know that we can control what is within our power to control. And so it's just kind of like you sleep more soundly, knowing that you have the power with you, that you have the magic with you, right? Sleeping with that magic wand, you know, kind of close to us or under our pillow or something. And it's just that, it's that security. It's saying you can rest easy now because we know what we got to do. So we're still in the same position, but I think it's kind of an acceptance of our position. We're not looking at it as black and white. There's this life or that life. There's internal and external. You know, now we're just saying it's all one life, and we have to control what we can control, and we have to accept what we can't control. So I feel like this is putting our mind at ease about things, right? Not looking at it as two separate things, but as one whole picture. Yeah. Now, we're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around for that, click on the link either up here or down in the video description. There should be a link too. Okay. New readings for Virgo every Tuesday and Saturday, but I'm here every day, 6 a.m. Chicago time. Come back and see me again tomorrow. Okay. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free. Doesn't cost you anything. Leave me a comment. Let me know how you're feeling. Okay. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.